All right. Absolute values. Woo. Absolute values. What are absolute values? Yes.
Isn't that like the real value of a number? Like if it's negative, the absolute value of that negative would actually be the positive version?
Pretty much that's what it is, okay? The absolute values is pretty much the distance of a number from 0, okay? The main distance of a number from 0. Okay? Let me make that 0 a little bit bigger. There you go. Yeah. Okay? The main distance of a number from 0. And it usually, actually not usually, always comes out, it always comes out to be a positive, pretty much. Always comes out to be a positive. Reason being, here is why, okay? Because some mathematician long ago in Greek times, he decided, or she decided, or they decided to come up with this formula on how two parallel lines can touch each other inside of an elliptical circle, okay? And believe it or not, they eventually can, inside of an elliptical circle. There's a formula for everything nowadays. But the absolute value formula derives from A plus BI. Okay? This is where the absolute value derives from. It's the absolute value of A plus BI, which is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared. Okay? So say, for example, if you were to have a situation where you have the absolute value of 3, right? The absolute value of 3. Well, that's just like saying the absolute value of 3 plus 0i, right? Which is just then saying square root of 3 squared plus 0 squared.
You never learned about square roots. We will eventually.
You will eventually, don't worry. Which will then be the square root of 9 plus 0, which is equal to 3. Okay? And the same exact thing happens all over again. If you have a negative 3, absolute value of negative 3, well then that's the absolute value of negative 3 plus 0i, which is equal to the square root of negative 3 squared plus 0 squared, which is equal to square root of 9 plus 0, which is equal to 3. And this is why you tend to come out with a positive number each and every time you have an absolute value, okay? Understood so far? Yeah. Now, are you all going to be using this formula right here? No, not at all, okay? Y'all are Algebra 1 kids, but I just want y'all to see where this comes from, where it derives from, if you will, okay? Because the I right there, that's That's a complex variable, an imaginary number, okay? If you choose to go to college and major in math, then you're gonna encounter complex variables. Or, you know, you do tend to encounter complex variables when you deal with algebra 2, trig, pre-calculus, etc., so on and so forth, okay? So, that's my lesson.